Okay. We have a lot to go over today, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Twyla. I am the Director of Outreach at the Department of Higher Education, and I oversee the FAFSA CASFA initiatives. And I will send it over to Sophie to introduce herself.
Thank you, Twyla, and thank you for everyone for joining us today. My name is Sophie Vogel, and I'm the CASFA coordinator. And in a few minutes, I look forward to reviewing CASFA information with all of you. Martha, would you like to speak?
Thank you, Sophie. Thanks for everyone to being here. My name is Martha Herrera, and I am the FAFSA coordinator, and I will be giving some updates regarding the new FAFSA.
Great, thank you. So if you could all please put your questions into the chat, and at the end of both presentations for the CASFA and the Better FAFSA, we will address those questions, as well as the questions, if any of you put them into the registration form, we will address those questions as well. So I will go ahead and pass it over to Sophie, and she is going to do a CASFA walkthrough for us.
Thank you so much, Twyla. I am going to share my screen and go ahead, and here is my 24-25 CASFA walkthrough presentation. Again, I'm Sophie Vogel, and as many of you know, the 23-24 CASFA is the same, and we are talking about the changes for next academic year 24-25. The goal of the 24-25 CASFA is to launch December 31st. So that is in a few short days. If anything changes and the CASFA does not launch December 31st, we will communicate that. So our software developer is Regent, and they provided me access to beta testing for the 24-25 CASFA starting November 27th. So I'll be able to show you what the 24-25 CASFA will very likely look like, and please note it is subject to change. I do want to make sure we talk about CASFA eligibility. CASFA is an acronym that stands for the Colorado Application for State Financial Aid. And it's an application for undocumented students and Colorado asset students. So for students who are not U.S. citizens, they should complete a CASFA. If they qualify for Colorado asset, that is terrific. And I have some bullets here about qualification for Colorado asset, which is attending a Colorado high school for at least 1 year immediately before graduation, or complete a high school equivalency examination in Colorado, and have continuous and physical presence in Colorado for 12 months before the start of the semester. Additionally, in terms of the CASFA, a student should complete a CASFA if they have financial need, regardless of their eligibility as a Colorado asset student. So if a student is not a Colorado asset student, they will not be eligible for state financial aid. However, through a CASFA, they may be eligible for institutional financial aid, potentially scholarship eligibility. Often I talk about FAFSA eligibility. Here right at the bottom is the link for FAFSA eligibility for non-US citizens. That changed yesterday, so I'm not going to review it for you all, but you will have this presentation, so you'll be able to check it yourselves. In general, FAFSA has a category that they call eligible non-citizens, and those are students who also complete FAFSAs. So students who do not complete FAFSAs are going to complete a CASFA. Here is information about the CASFA form. Please make sure to visit this website. I think Twyla mentioned she can put it in the chat as well, so that'll be great. And then when you go to the website, scroll down to this link, which says apply to FAFSA, click here. Or to apply to FAFSA, apply here. You will reach this page. If you are a new CASFA applicant and you have never created a CASFA account before or applied to CASFA, you'll make sure you go to don't have an account, sign up. You will then be taken to registration eligibility. This reviews what I was talking about prior Colorado State financial aid applicant should only complete one financial application, FAFSA or CASFA per award year. So this is the prior definition of an eligible non-citizen. I will update it as soon as I have more information from FSA, and then we have it translated as well. Your student, the question is, are you a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen? You say no, and you say continue. If you say yes, or if your student clicks yes, the CASFA will say, don't complete a CASFA. You're a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen, complete a FAFSA. So next step for students is step 1, account creation. So students are going to enter their personal email, obviously not their high school or college email, and a password that meets confirm email, password, and confirm password, CAPTCHA as well, and then hit continue. After that, they're asked, the second step, step 2, is to validate their email for email authentication. So it says here, access your email account and click on the link provided. So then we go here, you open your email account, here's the email that you receive, and you click the hyperlink, and then you'll see a thank you for validating your account, and you click continue. So then you get to log into your account using the personal email address and password, and you get to click sign in. I guess and then step 3 of student account validation is going to be for your financial aid account is some information. So you do first name and last name, and there are these for social security number or ITIN. Students who do not have a social security number or ITIN can leave them blank. So as you can see in the help text instructions, you can leave them blank. And then of course, date of birth. Please note for the entire CASFA, support your students and families as much as you possibly can, inputting accurate information. So for the email, please don't have typos. For the password, obviously, typos will not allow anything to work. For first name, last name, for social or ITIN, and also for date of birth, please work with your communities to make sure that students are entering accurate information. If students have a social security card or ITIN, they must use their name as it is on that document. If not, they need to use their name as it is with their college or university. So now that welcome to the CASFA portal. Our student's name is Ray. So please notice up here, you can always look to check who's logged in. This student is going to click here for documents. You can also click documents here. Please note this is the 24-25 CASFA for next academic year. Any of you who are working with high school students, I think it's particularly challenging for high school students to figure out which aid year they're applying for. This 23-24 is current aid year. So those are for students who are currently in college. If you work with high school students, please encourage them to complete the 24-25 aid year application because they are 12th graders and they are graduating this year and going to college next year. So then in your portal, you get to start your form because you clicked for the 24-25 aid year, and then it says start form. This is the student identity information page. So this is the first page. Just notice on every single one, there's this little exit. This save function is soon going to say save and exit. Our software developer is working on that update. So please notice this is how you save and exit your work. So here is Ray's first name and last name and their date of birth. I am leaving their social security number blank because they do not have one. However, this is where you would enter that information if your student does have that or an ITIN. This is student identity information continued. Of course, email address is really important. Phone you can leave blank, and also mailing address. Another thing to notice is this over here is the menu. So we're in student information and we will proceed through all of these different menu items. This can be an important tool. In addition, this small icon, you can see it better on a different screenshot. It'll be larger. This kind of looks like a clock with an arrow, for example. That means not completed. And then once you get to here, so here's more student personal information. This student is single, so they are not married. They're going to have a high school diploma from Westminster High School in Westminster, Colorado. This is information about where they are resident, and then the date they became a resident. This can be challenging. Please make sure that you recognize in the state of Colorado, we have 1 year residency for higher education. So if a student moves to Colorado in 2019, they became a resident in 2020. And we'll add help text information to the application here soon. And so then, as you can see it a little bit better here. Student information is completed. So we have a check here. That section of the application is complete. So this is student college or career plans. This is Ray is a first year undergraduate, and no, they're not, they don't already have a degree, and no, they won't be pursuing an initial teaching certification. Student personal circumstances, they do not experience any of these personal circumstances. Important to note in here are things like foster care and legally emancipated as a minor. So this is related to dependency. Ray is a dependent student. If anyone clicks this, any of the other options, then they are an independent student. So again, Ray is a dependent student. So this is a new CASFA question to match the FAFSA, because this is for unaccompanied homeless youth. The question is, was the student unaccompanied and either homeless or self-supporting and at risk of being homeless? Ray was not. So Ray answers no to this question. This is another new CASFA question to match the FAFSA about unusual circumstances. Do unusual circumstances prevent the student from contacting their parent, or would contacting their parent pose a risk to the student? Ray's answer to this question is no. And then, are the students' parents unwilling? And this is no. If a student answers yes to these questions, they're going to be a provisionally independent student. And then the financial aid office is going to follow up with a student to say, tell us about your unusual circumstances. Here's student family information, and we're entering student family information. And as you can see, the menu, it's a smart form. So it's responsive to what you enter. So it added parent information here because the student is in fact a dependent student. So neither parent attended a college, and no, the parent or guardian was not killed in the line of duty. So next we have student tax filing status. So this student, yes, did file a 2022 IRS form 1040. Just like the FAFSA, the CASFA is continuing to use prior years. So as you can see, this is the 24-25 CASFA, and we are using the 2022 IRS form 1040. So the student did file taxes. No, they don't have foreign income, and their filing status is single for Ray. Here's information about Ray's student tax return. So Ray made $20,000. Everything else is blank. I put AGI as 20,000. I think that with taxes, things might be different, but I made this up for Ray, so bear with me and thank you. Here's additional student tax return information. This is everything that the CASFA asks. It's the same as what the FAFSA is asking. Another change, of course, is questions about student assets and parent assets. Ray has $100 in their bank account. Ray doesn't have investments, and Ray doesn't have investment farms. So Ray can answer 0 to that question. School list, Ray is interested in attending Adams, so Ray entered Adams. Once you enter one college, this will auto-populate another one. And with the CASFA, you can list up to 20 schools, just like you can with the FAFSA. This is a change for the 24-25 aid year. If a student were completing the 23-24 CASFA, they would not be able to add up to 20 schools. So here's parent identity information. Ray's parent is named Sam. So here's Sam's first name and last name, Sam's date of birth, and also for a parents who do not have social security numbers or ITINs need to enter zeros, 9 0 digits. So this continues to align with prior FAFSA guidance. If you all remember, for this academic year and prior, parents who didn't have a social security number would enter zeros. Obviously, from 2024, 2025, with the FAFSA, there will be a different process. So parent contact information. So this is still about Sam. This is Sam's email address. Obviously, it's incredibly important to put that in correctly. This is Sam's address. Parent personal information. Sam is married. Sam lives in Colorado. Sam became a resident of Colorado in 2018. There are 3 people in the household, and there's one who's going to be going to college. This question remains on the CASFA, just like it remains on the FAFSA, but it's a dummy question because it's not incorporated in the SAI calculation. So, this is for the parent federal benefits received. For Sam, it's none of the above. This is parent tax filing status. So will Sam, or did Sam file a 2022 IRS 1040? Yes. Did Sam file a joint return? What is their filing status? Is married filing jointly for Sam. And so then here's information about Sam's income. Sam made $25,000. So the rest of this is zeros on here. Here's 25 again for AGI. Let's just pretend I calculated that correctly. Here's additional information that the CASFA was asking about Sam's tax return. Sam's married filing jointly tax return, just like what is asked on the FAFSA. Here's parent. The question is how much child support and assets. What are your child support and assets? But the question is for the parent. So even though it's called parent child support, it's parent child support and assets. So Sam receives 0 in child support, and Sam has $1,000 in their bank account and no investments and no farms. This question continues on because Sam is married, and Sam said they were married, or Ray said on behalf of Sam that Sam is married. Here is parent spouse. So parent spouse is Pat, and here's Pat's date of birth, and Pat does not have a social security number, so Pat is entering all zeros. Here is more information about Pat. Here's Pat's email, and then Pat's physical address. Here are some additional questions. So I certify that by the time I begin college, I will have met the conditions above. This is about being a Colorado asset student, right? Because here's the language up above about Colorado asset. I would recommend that students click this because the financial aid, if there's any doubt, because the financial aid office, they're the ones responsible for reviewing asset eligibility. And especially if the student is going to be using their Colorado asset eligibility for in-state tuition, then that's a whole residency process part at the college. So I would recommend that if there's any doubt, have students click here to say that they will be Colorado asset eligible, and then they are certifying. This language is pretty standard language that is for undocumented individuals in the United States. They need to click here and certify. Then we have the student e-sign. So this is still Ray. They've been logged in the whole time. They choose e-sign document. Please note, we actually can't change the functionality to remove another signature option. However, we do not have one in Colorado. So everyone has to e-sign. If anyone were to paper sign, I don't know who they would mail their CASFA to. I don't know who would process the CASFA, and we don't have a process for updating the electronic file that the colleges and universities receive. So please make sure to e-sign all documents. Thank you. So after clicking there, students are going to, it says here, please click on the download icon to view the completed form. It's required. If you don't click here, you're not able to click a check in this box and click next. So it says, please click, but it's also completely required. What you download is a PDF that shows you every single answer that the student put into their CASFA. And the reason, of course, to download it is to check to make sure your forms are complete and accurate. So then you click here and you hit click next. This is the final process for e-signature for the student. The student enters their first name, their last name, and their password. It's the password they used when they created their account, and then they click here for sign. This student, Ray, has signed. So as you can see, their status it says here, needed. There are two things needed, but one thing is done. What's done is that the student has done their portion of the CASFA. So anyway, here's the 24-25 CASFA. You always need to review and update. So then when Ray clicks that, Ray is able to request parent signature. And then after Ray clicks request parent signature, this is the process. They need to choose which parent to sign. Ray is going to have Sam sign, but Pat could potentially sign as well. Here is the email address, and then you click send for send invitation. The parent is going to open their email invitation and click on the hyperlink. This is the invitation that the parent receives. Sometimes any of these emails can go to spam. So please encourage your families, students and their parents to check their spam email boxes. Additionally, these hyperlinks are actually the same. So you could potentially click either one, but Sam doesn't have an account yet. So Sam read the instructions and says to create an account, I'm going to click here. So this is for parents. Step one is account creation again. So Sam needs to put in their own email. This is Sam's email address that Sam just got that email sent to, and then Sam's own email address confirmed, and then password, confirm password. And then obviously click here for the CAPTCHA, continue. And then step two is Sam has to validate their email again. So the first email was an invite, and this second email is a validation. So the second email the parent receives looks like this. Hello, just like the student received for the account creation. So this is click this hyperlink, and it will take you, and it will say, thank you for validating your account. Click continue. From there, the parent is going to sign in. So this is Sam. Sam signs into the account they created. So Sam puts their email address here, and Sam puts their password here, and then Sam clicks sign in. Obviously, Sam doesn't need to click sign up because Sam already has an account. In addition, Sam should not click sign up because it would create a student account that would not be linked to Ray's application. So just for clarification, a parent is not going to click sign up right here. So after clicking sign in, it will take you to parent account validation. So then please complete the following registration form using your name as it is listed in the email invitation you received. So please make sure first name is Sam, second name is Martine, or excuse me, last name is Martine. Sam has 0000, and then this is Sam's date of birth, and you click done, or Sam clicks done, and then Sam is in their own portal. So as you can see, it says welcome parents right here, and that's Sam's name. Sam is going to go to this where it says pending parent signature and click review and update for the 24-25 CASFA. Sam is going to click sign form. And then here, Sam is going to click e-sign document. It says, please click download on the item. You have to, it's required. So Sam has to download the PDF to review it. Sam can also look at the PDF here. Sam is going to check here to acknowledge and click next. Next, Sam needs to do the same thing that Ray did. Write their name, Sam Martin, password that they used when they created their CASFA account, and click sign. That's actually it. Then the CASFA is, this student's CASFA is done. The student has the parent requirement is satisfied, and then it says welcome parents, you're all caught up on your required documents. So I'm pleased to say I got through that pretty quickly. I'll just let you all know the student and parent receive emails when steps are completed as well. So they'll receive an email saying, now you have a CASFA account. Now your document is satisfied, etc. So students can also use those accounts to, excuse me, use those emails to understand what is going on and process it. Please note, this is the CASFA website. So that's the one I showed you in the beginning. And then this is me. You can always reach me at casfa@dhe.state.co.us. I'll have you all note this mailbox is one that continues. So anytime you're emailing about a student, if the student's going to be doing a CASFA next year and the following year and the following year, it would be great if you send it here so that we can have that record. Whereas my personal email, that will not remain CASFA if I change my position. And I made it through. So thank you so much for observing the CASFA walkthrough, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And of course, we're going to go to questions at the end. And I look forward to talking with you and sharing with you about it.
Hey, Sophie, do you want to go ahead and do a few questions right now that were in the chat?
Yeah, of course.
Does that work for you? Okay, so the first one was, what if a student receives legal documentation after already completing the CASFA?
Great question. They should complete a FAFSA because then they're going to be eligible for a Pell Grant. Well, they could potentially be eligible for a Pell Grant in addition to the Colorado Student Grant, in addition to institutional aid. So that would be great for a student.
Okay, great. Next one, what, or if a student is not a U.S. citizen, but has a work visa to work in the U.S. and a social security number that states valid for work only, would that student complete a CASFA or a FAFSA?
Thank you. That's a great question. I think we should just clarify what kind of work visa. So for example, students who have DACA, which is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, those students can get an EAD, an Employment Authorization Document, which is usually considered a work permit. With a work permit, those students can apply for a social security number. DACA recipients are not eligible for federal Pell Grants. DACA recipients do not complete a FAFSA, and DACA recipients complete a CASFA. So that doesn't actually correctly answer the question because the question is about work visa. So I wonder what kind of work visa it is. Please feel free to follow up with me if we can answer your question more specifically. But since I don't know, are you sure you mean work visa, or do you mean employment authorization document, which is usually essentially considered like a work permit? Anyway, the question is tough.
Yeah, you know, I'm the one to ask the question. I'm not sure because one of my teachers just sent me a picture of the student's identification and I can't see it that clearly. It just says employment, it says United States of America employment authorization. Looks like a driver's license, but it's authorized to working in the US.
Great. Until my interpretation, and I'm definitely open to feedback, I would assume that that student potentially is a DACA recipient, because that's an employment authorization document, and an employment authorization document is not a work visa.
Okay.
So that is my answer for now, and I look forward to helping you in the future with a student if I can.
Thanks.
Sure.
Fantastic. All right. If anybody else doesn't have any more CASFA questions, we will send it over to Martha, so we can do some better FAFSA updates. Martha,
Awesome.
take it
Thank
away.
you. Thank you, Twyla and Sophie. That was great, Sophie. Thank you for all the information about CASFA. I'm going to give some updates about FAFSA. We had a lunch and learn on November 29th. So I gave the major changes, everything that was changing with this new FAFSA. So if you weren't able to attend, we have posted our video on the website. So please go watch it. Not much has changed between November 29 and now, but I'm going to give some updates of what we have new. So let me share my screen. Okay, are y'all able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so latest updates from FSA. FSA released an electronic announcement on November 15, providing updates to the financial aid community. They confirmed that FAFSA will release by December 31st. So yay, we have a day. But colleges will not receive FAFSA file ICERs until the end of January. FAFSA filers will need to wait until the end of January to make updates and corrections and receive their FAFSA submission summary. So some key considerations are delays in colleges receiving FAFSA information will shorten the time frame and potentially cause delays in verification, appeals, and financial aid offers. If a student submits a completed online FAFSA form on December 31st or later, they will see a confirmation page displayed on their web browser. The student will also receive a copy of their confirmation page via email. The information will include their submission day, a student aid index, and estimated federal Pell Grant eligibility, but they won't receive their submission summaries until the end of January, and they won't be able to make any updates or add more schools until the end of January as well. So what are we still waiting to learn? So what the manual income and tax information entry process will look like, if a specific questions on the FAFSA will change based on feedback from the open commitment period, and how the better FAFSA will impact verification selection. We're still waiting to learn on those, and I'm pretty sure that in the next upcoming weeks, we're going to receive a ton of information, but as of now, this is all we have, and this is what we're waiting to learn on. But what should families do right now? So I would advise for families right now for students to create an FSA ID. Student and contributors to start their FSA ID creation for 4 days prior to completing the FAFSA form or attending any FAFSA completion event. The reason why is they can create their FSA ID and complete the FAFSA form the same day, but the only bad thing is that they're going to have to input all their information manually. So it's better for contributors and students to create an FSA ID at least 4 days prior of them completing the FAFSA form. Also, as of right now, try to determine if the parent or spouse will need to be contributors and provide their information on the FAFSA form. And if parent or spouse need to be a contributor on the form, please create the FSA ID. If a contributor does not have a social security number, they will be able to create an FSA ID account starting December 31st. So contributors and students are able to start creating their FSA ID right now, but contributors that do not have a social security number won't be able to access the FSA ID feature until December 31st. And then here are some resources that we have. So Meet the Team, that's our website resource, and then Twilight will post them on the chat. We also have NCAN, some resources with them. And then this one, let me see if I can put it, if it'll take me. So this one, I love this one because it helps you determine if a student is independent or dependent student. So this is a great worksheet that you can use with your students to be able to determine what is their dependency status and who needs to fill out the form, who needs to create that FSA ID. So I really like this one. And then let me go back to this one. We also have the FAFSA roadmap. So if you go to the FAFSA roadmap, it shows you like timeline of what needs to be done. So October 21st to December 31st, ICERs, FAFSA update feature. So it's just a really awesome timeline to see, and counselors and advocates, what resources you need, what counselor trainings. So I really like that one as well. And then this one is just another resource. Twilight will be putting all of these on the chat. So this is a financial tool kit. It'll give you FAFSA changes overview, fact sheets, form preview presentations, FAFSA changes FAQs. So this is another great website as well. And then now I'm going to go over the prototype. So I'm going to go over here. Let me see. Let me stop sharing and then I'll reshare again. So this is an awesome tool to kind of like play around and see different like scenarios. So right now you can go in and play around with this so you can better be ready when helping a student. So right now we'll go view the FAFSA preview. So right now I'm going to be a parent, so Alcina. So I'm going to view this scenario. And then Raya is a student, so this is what the parent will receive. So Raya has already completed her part of the application and sent an invite to the parents, and this is the email that the parent will receive. Raya T can be eligible for federal aid without your input. Help them complete the free application form. So then we're going to go log in. And then Alcina already created her FSA ID and has her password. So we're going to put login. And then we're going to go in here and accept the invitation that Raya sent. And then we will need to use some personal information and we agree to it. So we put continue. And then we're going to see this. It frequently asks questions that they can review. Why have I been invited to contribute to this FAFSA form? Does contributing to the form mean I'm responsible to pay for college? So all of those good information. What do I need to complete my section? What kind of information will be asked? What happens after I complete my section? So after you submit your required sections and the student's FAFSA form is processed, the student will receive a FAFSA submission summary. Will include the student aid index, a number used to determine federal student aid eligibility. Schools will use the SAI to create a financial aid offer that explains the types and amounts of aid they are offering the student. So then we put continue, and this is just an overview of the application. Parents can watch the video. Then we press continue, and then this part just explains what the contributor's role is on the form. And then we put continue. The parents can go over that, what to expect. So every contributor must provide consent and approval for the student to be eligible for federal student aid. With your consent and approval, we can obtain your federal tax information automatically from the IRS to help complete your section of the student's FAFSA form. You can save the form and return to it later if you need more time. So it's very important for parents and students to provide consent when filling out the form. And then we do continue. So after submitting the form, after January 24, 2024, the student form will be processed within 3 days. The student will receive a FAFSA submission summary after the end of January. It will include their SAI. Schools will use the student's SAI to create their financial aid offer that explains the types and amounts of aid they are offering to the student. Most schools will wait to send the student an aid offer only after they accept it for admissions. So then we're going to do start the form. This is the first page within the parent section. The parent can verify that their personal information is correct. To update any of the personal information, the parent must access their account setting on studentaid.gov. They can edit anything that might be wrong. So the parent will check that everything looks correct. And if everything looks correct, we're going to do continue. This page informs the parent about consent and their federal tax information. By providing consent, the parent's federal tax information is transferred directly into the FAFSA form from the IRS to help complete the parent's financials. So it just gives them the information of why it's important to provide consent and what it is. And then we click approve. If we do decline, then the student will not be eligible for any financial aid. So it's important to provide consent. So let me go back and see if I did it right. Okay, so approve, and then we're going to continue. It's going to ask about the parents' demographics. So let's put single, never married, and then continue. So legal residence, let's put Colorado. It's going to ask since when have they been a resident of Colorado. We'll just put since 1965, since they were born. And then continue. So the FAFSA form helps determine the student's eligibility for federal aid. In this section, we ask about your financial information. So we're going to put continue. So at any time during 2022 or 2023, did the parent or anyone in their family receive benefits? So this page asks the parent if they or anyone in their family has received federal benefits. The parent selects none of these apply, or if they do, they'll click one of them. But for this time, we're going to put the none of them apply to them. So there we go, continue, oops. And then family size, so the parent's family size is different from the number of individuals. So advising family size, if any uncertainty, adjust the family size number will not result in automatic verification. So let's put know that the family size hasn't changed. So we'll put continue. And then how many people in the parent's family will be in college between July 1st, 2024 and June 30th? We're going to put 1. So it still asks the question, but this number will not be taken into consideration when calculating the student's SAI. So then we'll put continue and then roll over into the IRS or qualified plan. We'll just put, I don't know, we'll put 200. I'm just guessing these numbers. They're not right at all, but they should already been transferred with the IRS the transition that they could. And then we'll put 0 here. And then foreign earned income, 0. We'll just put 0. And then scholarships, we'll put 0. And then continue. So annual child support received. We're just going to put 0 for this one. Current total of cash and savings. Just put 200. Current network of investments. We can put, I don't know, 2, 3, 500. So another thing is in district states that offer 100% free or reduced price lunch, families should select they receive that benefit. This will make them exempt from reporting assets if they receive the benefit in 2022 or 2023. So if they receive free and reduced lunch, they will get exempt from answering these type of questions. And then, so we get to this part, it seems that we filled everything out, and then we put continue. And then it's going to give us the summary. So sign in complete. On this page, the parent acknowledges the terms and conditions of the FAFSA form and signs their section. Since all required sections are complete, the parent can both sign and submit the student's form. So she's going to say she agrees. And then this is what they're going to see. Upon submitting the student's FAFSA form, the student is presented an abbreviated confirmation page. This page displays information about tracking the student's form and next steps. The student will receive an email with the full detailed confirmation. So this is it. It says that we've completed the scenario. So this is pretty awesome. The prototype, you can go in and play around and submit different scenarios to get more comfortable with it. And I am going to stop sharing.
Okay, Martha, there is one question in the chat there.
Does the end of January date for the summary only apply to students who apply in January? Will all students have to wait around the month of their summers even if they apply after? So yeah, so every student has to wait until the end of so if they apply on December 31st, January 2nd, the 3rd, they have to wait until the end of January. And after that, they should be up to date to processing them regularly, 1 to 3 days. Where do we find the scenario tool? I will post it here in the chat right now.
Okay.
The prototype. And then right now I'm going to go over some of the questions that you all submitted as well when you registered. There we go. And then okay, so one of the questions that we had is, how will SAI be calculated? So the SAI is determined by family size, federal tax information, and assets reported on the FAFSA. The number in college does not impact SAI, and the SAI can be as low as negative 1,500. The SAI can help students receive more financial aid, while the minimum EFC was 0. The SAI can go as low as negative 1,500, allowing students to show a higher financial need. The next question is, process for parents without Social Security is to create FSA IDs. What happens if a parent isn't able to verify their identity and create an FSA ID? So if parents are not able to create an FSA ID or verify their identity, they can be able to fill out the paper FAFSA. The delay on reviewing the paper FAFSA won't be until February. And then next question, can parents get their FSA ID in advance? Yes, we recommend for students and contributors to start filling out the FAFSA, their FSA ID now, so they can be ready once the FAFSA opens up in December 31st. But contributors without a social cannot create their FSA ID until the FAFSA opens on December 31st. And then advice on how to help support students with undocumented parents. So one advice that we give is try to create a feeling of welcome to allow trust building. Let parents know that you understand their concerns, but let them know that they will not be flagged, because that is one of their biggest fears. So reassure them that their information will not be shared anywhere else. And let me see, do we have any more questions? I think those were all.
Thank you so much, Martha. I see Greg has a question, and I think it's about FAFSA, but it could be about CASFA as well. Greg says, could you please cover independent student piece, and is it similar to the current FAFSA? The current FAFSA doesn't have what the new FAFSA, the 24-25 FAFSA will have, which is a provisional independent student status. So currently with the 23-24 FAFSA and prior FAFSAs, when a student didn't have parent information but didn't qualify under other circumstances, they couldn't complete a FAFSA as an independent student. So they kind of got stuck. The new FAFSA, the 24-25 FAFSA, has this piece called the provisionally independent student status that will help the student basically they'll complete their FAFSA without their parent information, and then the financial aid office at their college or university will reach out to them about their situation. Do they have unusual circumstances, etc. And just because I'm the CASFA coordinator, I will also share that that is the same with the CASFA as well. The CASFA has the new CASFA, the 24-25 CASFA has new information, new opportunities for students to basically be provisionally independent according to the application and not complete it with parent information. And then the college or university, their financial aid office, will have the responsibility of following up. Thanks for the question, Greg.
All right. I think that is all the questions. I am going to go ahead and take over really quick and give you some updates on upcoming community events. So we have added a date for these Lunch and Learn series. We are going to do our next one in February, on February 22nd. So I have updated the registration form, all the information on our website, so you can find that here and register for the February 21st. If we do decide to do one in January, we figured we are going to be enthralled in filling out applications in January. But if we do, please check back regularly and on the same website, and we will post if we do one in January. If not, the next one will be February 21st. We also have several fun things coming up. We are working on right now scheduling some block parties, FAFSA CASFA block parties. We're thinking there's going to be one in Denver on February 17th, and then there will be one in Pueblo, Colorado on March 16th. So look back also on our website here under About and Events. Regarding those specific details, we are ironing out those details, but as of now, this is what the information that we have. For educator financial aid trainings, we have one coming up in Trinidad on February 17th. We are headed out to Trinidad State College, and that will be an all-day training for educators, and eligible educators will be eligible for a $500 stipend. And then also on our website, we have the other events that are upcoming. We plan on doing the, let's see, January 10th. Actually, we have something going on tomorrow, Undocumented Student Network meeting. But then in January, on January 10th, we are doing a financial aid parent night at Fort Lupton High School, as well as the upcoming COCASA, Court Appointed Student Advocates Lunch and Learn. And that is geared more towards students who experience foster care and regarding the foster ed and ETV programs under the department. And then we have in March, the Remacac College Fair, March 2nd, Colorado Springs, March 3rd, that will be in Denver. So if you have any upcoming events, please let us know. You can also sign up on our website, and we can certainly reach out, back out to you and see if we can support your event. All right. Does anybody have any additional questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We will make sure to post this recording on our website. And again, please check back regularly regarding upcoming events, fun things going on. And thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much.